Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
I usually pride myself on my composure, especially in new social settings. So when my partner, Lucas, suggested we fly to Chicago for his older sister Genevieve's annual charity gala, I was determined to make a stellar impression. Genevieve is, shall we say, accomplished. Runs her own successful design firm, co-chairs this huge animal sanctuary fundraiser every year, the whole 9 yards. I wanted to be charming, witty, sophisticated, basically. Everything I feel like I'm not on a Tuesday morning. The day before the gala, I was a bundle of nerves. Lucas, bless his heart, found a quaint little artisanal chocolate shop. They have these amazing Zen-Bites, he said, holding up a sleek minimalist package. Infused with a special adaptogen blend. Genevieve swears by them for pre-event calm. Just one, they're potent. Each Zen-Bite was a tiny, dark chocolate square, barely the size of my thumbnail. Potent, I scoffed internally. How potent can a piece of chocolate be? That evening, getting ready, my anxiety hit peak performance. My gown felt too tight, my hair wouldn't cooperate, and I was convinced I'd say something deeply embarrassing to Genevieve's high-profile friends. Lucas had already had his one Zen-Bite and seemed perfectly serene. I, however, eyed the remaining chocolates. One, for my level of pre-gala panic, laughable. I popped one into my mouth. It tasted intensely earthy, then surprisingly floral. A minute later, still buzzing with nerves, I decided 2 more couldn't hurt. For good measure, I told myself, swallowing them down like they were mini multivitamins. Who cared if Lucas said just one? I knew my body, and my body clearly needed an intervention. We arrived at the ballroom, a dazzling, opulent space filled with what felt like 1,000 well-dressed strangers. I took a deep breath, ready to charm. And then a warmth spread through me. Not a bad warmth at first. A floaty, everything is beautiful kind of warmth. I smiled at a kindly-looking woman, and my smile felt enormous. Too enormous, like my face was stretching. Lucas introduced me to Genevieve and her husband, Thorn. Genevieve, elegant in emerald green, gave me a hug. "Lacey, so glad you could make it," she chirped. My response, "Oh, Genevieve, your dress is practically vibrating with joy." There was a beat of silence. Lucas subtly squeezed my arm, a warning I profoundly ignored. The night became a blur. Conversations stretched into what felt like hours, each word from my mouth feeling like a monumental effort, yet somehow also sounding entirely brilliant in my own head. I started sweating, profusely. My carefully applied makeup felt like it was melting off, and I swear I could feel rivulets running down my back. I kept dabbing my face with a linen napkin, trying to look fresh, but I probably just looked like I'd run a marathon in a ball gown. At one point, I excused myself to the ladies' room. The opulent marble bathroom suddenly felt like a scene from a psychedelic movie. I splashed cold water on my face, but my reflection seemed to be winking at me. I tried to pee, and it felt like an eternity. I was convinced I was going to miss the entire gala, that Lucas would send out a search party. When I finally emerged, a woman was waiting patiently outside the stall, looking at me with an expression I could only interpret as, "Are you okay, dear?" "Just a very thorough process," I chirped, feeling compelled to explain my lengthy absence. Back at our table, I found Lucas and Genevieve engaged in a serious discussion with a very distinguished-looking couple, clearly important donors. I sat down, trying to compose myself, but my mind was racing. Genevieve then stood to give a small address, thanking everyone for their generosity, her voice smooth and confident. She spoke passionately about the animal sanctuary, about rescuing creatures, about giving them a safe haven. And then, from somewhere deep inside my Zen-enhanced brain, I heard my own voice, loud and clear, cutting across the hushed room. "Yes, and what about the tiny ones? The ones who just want a warm bed and maybe a whole packet of those magic chocolates." The silence that followed was deafening. Genevieve froze mid-sentence, her elegant smile slowly dissolving into a mask of pure horror. Thorn stared, wide-eyed. The distinguished couple looked from me to Genevieve, then quickly exchanged a loaded glance. Lucas, bless his mortified soul, was already on his feet. "Lacey, darling, I think we've had a little too much excitement," he murmured, practically dragging me out of the ballroom. I tried to wave goodbye to Genevieve, but my arm felt like a noodle, and I ended up nearly taking out a passing waiter. My last memory before the fresh air hit me was Genevieve mouthing, "What was that?" at Luca's over my shoulder. TLDR. Ate 3 times the recommended dose of powerful calming chocolates before my partner's sister's high-stakes charity gala, resulting in profuse sweating, time distortion, and me shouting about magic chocolates during her keynote speech.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.